Click.
Alrighty then, today's video brought to you from the fields of Warren County, New Jersey. I am on a property that, well, it's a hunting preserve, and they use this warm season grass to cover for their birds. They do pheasants, and I guess they do chuckers and other animals, other birds. But once a year, they have to have it cut off for the new growth to come in. And because it's warm season grass, it does not start to grow until about June. It really does take a while to get started, but it does need to be taken care of. Now, their season, because it is a stocked hunting preserve, they stock the birds, goes to March 15th. And they like it off by March 16th. But unfortunately, the farmer that they had taking this grass off of here decided that he was no longer going to do it. And so Vern, the guy's name is Vern, he got a hold of me and asked me if I would do it. And I said that I would. I just wanted to come up and look. I knew where it was because a former friend of mine was up here. He made it for many years, and he liked doing it, I guess, because he came up here for a lot of years. But he's older now, and I guess he's getting out of the business, and he wouldn't come back up here. So it went to a company that was heating greenhouses with it, and either it was too much work to heat greenhouses with, or the greenhouse business isn't doing very good either, and they just didn't need it. But the problem is that, as you can see out in the field, they've left some 4x4 bales, quite a few of them, and they left them on both ends of the farm, which is kind of weird. They took them from the center, but, you know, they just left the ones at both ends. The bales at this end, I'm going to take them, I'm selling them, they're going to go. I have a place to take them, so they'll go. But the other end of the farm, they are, somebody came and cut the strings on them. So you can't do anything with them. They're just flopped open, and they will have to, I'm going to have them push them off. I'm not going to bother pushing them off. They can do it. Unless I feel, compelled to do it. I don't know. It all depends on the time that we've got. But as you can see out in front here, if Teresa would tilt the camera down, you have to use the joystick, dear.
It's down.
Yeah, pull down, not up.
Opposite.
Asians are ass backwards. They're from the other side of the flat, and they just go completely opposite of what you need done. But anyways, whatever. Vern said that this was all standing until the end of February, maybe early March. He said then just one day it just fell over, which, is how it'll smother itself out if you don't take it off. But yeah, you can cut it to the ground now. If you cut it when it's green, you can't cut it to the ground. You have to leave 6 to 8 inches of growth underneath of stem, because if you cut it any lower than that, it'll die. But yeah. So you just kind of gotta know what you're doing when you're doing this stuff. But it has value, not much value, but it has value to certain growers, and you can use it for bedding if you wanted to. I could load this up and sell it out at the auction market for bedding if I wanted to, and I may do that. I may do some of that. Take a couple loads out, see what it brings. Could bring more as bedding than it does, as it does for anything else. One way or the other, we'll get rid of it. But for bedding, it'll look like straw, and it will absorb. It is an absorbent material, and it's good for bedding. So there you go. Now that's what we're doing. The farm is split into 2 operations.
Oh shoot!
That
is a hole.
Is a sinkhole. Now, I don't mind sinkholes. What I don't like about sinkholes, and there are sinkholes up here, obviously. What I don't like about sinkholes is the rakers sometimes don't pay attention to what they're doing, and they will rake the hay right over top of that sinkhole, and then they'll put a baler in there. It's happened before. It's happened before. The worst thing that a raker can do is not so much the sinkhole, but rocks. If there's rocks or old perk tests and things like that out in the field from, there's no perk tests here, but if there's rocks here, they'll rake the windrow right over a big old fast rock.
Ugh.
And you know what that does to the header on the machine? Destroys it. And I have destroyed a couple, 3 headers because people that rake hay somehow, for some reason, don't understand what they're doing. But hey, that's life. Just deal with it. And I will have that conversation with whoever is going to be raking here today or tomorrow or whenever it is about sinkholes and rocks. You know there's a sinkhole, don't rake over it. If you know there's a rock, don't rake over it. Now this stuff is laying in this direction towards me, so you can go into it at a pretty good clip of speed, which right now is 6.5 miles an hour because I'm not familiar with the ground, and it's better if you go slower over it anyway. And I'd like to know what they do with those things. I have no idea what those are. But when you go with the down material, like in the same direction, you have to go really slow. But come on down. You got to go really slow. And if you look really carefully at the front of the machine, you'll see that it is cutting underneath, and it will lift the material up, and it will allow it to suck in. Now, if you cut it too fast, you'll actually go right over the top of it and you won't cut anything. So you kind of got to go slow on that opposite direction. Give it a chance to work. This is a flail machine, so that'll actually creates a vacuum as well. But anyway, yeah, there it is. So that's what we're doing today. Teresa, you get it? That's what we're doing today, and I guess the next video will probably be of somebody raking or baling or both. Or there's an articulated tractor running around here with a disc harrow on behind, a Landau disc with a roller basket on it. And I'd like to get some footage of it. I don't know who it is, but it's an older Arctic, John Deere 9120 articulated tractor. He's not going very fast. I thought he would be going faster than that because it looks like a low concavity, high-speed disc. But the 9120 really wasn't a high horsepower tractor, so maybe that's all the more guts it's got. But anyway, this farm was split into 2 sections, the upper and the lower. The upper and the lower sections are where they put grain, and the middle section is where they have this stuff. So that's what we got. Anyway, somebody just texted me, so I'm gonna have to take a look and see what that is.